You are now detained for the purpose of this warrant, okay? We're here in relation to the murder of Tanya Glover, okay? And there's some other charges on here, misconduct with a corpse and a fraud.
In December 2022, a shocking discovery was made in the basement of an apartment complex in New South Wales, Australia. The remains of Tanya Glover, a woman who had been missing since January 2010, were found concealed within the walls of the building. The grim finding immediately raised questions about how her body had gone undiscovered for so long and who was responsible for her death. After more than a decade of uncertainty, authorities made a breakthrough in the case. On March 27, 2025, police arrested a 61-year-old woman in Townsville, Queensland, charging her with murder, misconduct with a corpse, and fraud. This arrest has reignited interest in the case, bringing long-awaited developments to Tanya's grieving family and the wider community. In this video, we will take a deep dive into the tragic case of Tanya Glover. We'll explore the events leading up to her disappearance, the circumstances surrounding the discovery of her body, and the extensive investigation that finally led to an arrest. We'll also discuss the broader implications of delayed justice, highlighting the challenges of solving cold cases and the importance of persistence in law enforcement. Stay with us as we uncover the details behind this chilling case. Tanya Glover was known to her friends and family as a kind and vibrant woman. She lived in Australia and, like many, had her share of ups and downs in life. Though details about her personal relationships remain somewhat unclear, Tanya was someone who had connections within her community. However, in January 2010, she suddenly disappeared without a trace, leaving her loved ones desperate for answers. At the time of her disappearance, investigators faced several obstacles. Reports suggest that Tanya had a transient lifestyle, which may have complicated the initial search efforts. Despite concerns from those who knew her, the case eventually grew cold, with no clear leads or breakthroughs for years. For over a decade, Tanya's fate remained a mystery, until December 2022, when a shocking discovery changed everything. Her remains were found inside the wall of an apartment complex, raising new questions about how she got there, who was responsible, and why it had taken so long to uncover the truth. This discovery reignited the investigation, setting the stage for the eventual arrest of a 61-year-old woman in March 2025. For more than a decade, Tanya Glover's whereabouts remained unknown. Friends and family had long feared the worst, but with no significant leads, her case remained cold. Then, on December 7, 2022, everything changed when cleaners made a chilling discovery in the basement of an apartment complex in Australia. As they worked through the basement area, the cleaners noticed something unusual, a section of the wall that seemed out of place. Upon further inspection, they uncovered human remains wrapped in layers of clothing and bedding. The discovery immediately sparked an investigation, as authorities were called to the scene to assess the grim find. The condition of Tanya's body suggested that significant efforts had been made to conceal her remains. The wrapping indicated an attempt to muffle any odor or delay decomposition from being detected. However, despite these efforts, the passage of time had not completely hidden the truth. Forensic experts quickly determined that the remains belonged to Tanya Glover, confirming the worst fears of those who had known her. The discovery raised disturbing questions. How had her body gone unnoticed for so long? Who was responsible for hiding it in such a manner? And why had no one come forward with information earlier? With these questions looming, authorities intensified their investigation, determined to find justice for Tanya after so many years. The discovery of Tanya Glover's remains in December 2022 reignited a case that had remained cold for over a decade. Investigators knew that solving such a long-standing mystery would require a combination of forensic expertise, meticulous detective work, and a renewed push for information from the public. Once the remains were recovered, forensic experts conducted an extensive examination to determine their identity and cause of death. Given the advanced state of decomposition, investigators relied on DNA analysis, dental records, and forensic anthropology techniques to confirm that the remains belonged to Tanya Glover. After months of careful testing, authorities made the official identification on August 2, 2023. This breakthrough provided a crucial piece of the puzzle. Tanya had not vanished voluntarily but had been deliberately hidden, reinforcing suspicions of foul play. With Tanya's identity confirmed, the next challenge was uncovering how and why she had ended up concealed within the apartment complex's basement. Detective Inspector John Misen and his team took on the case with renewed determination. Their work involved revisiting old witness statements, examining historical records, and re-interviewing individuals who had connections to Tanya around the time of her disappearance. Investigators meticulously traced Tanya's last known movements, looking for any clues that might lead them to a suspect. They reviewed property records, searched for past tenants and visitors of the apartment complex, and even analyzed old missing person reports to see if any leads had been overlooked. After months of relentless investigation, a key suspect emerged, a 61-year-old woman whose connections to Tanya and to the apartment complex raised suspicions. With mounting evidence and a renewed push from law enforcement, authorities were finally able to make an arrest, marking a major turning point in the case. Though Tanya's life had been tragically cut short, the tireless efforts of detectives ensured that her case would not be forgotten. The long-awaited arrest gave hope that justice might finally be served, offering a sense of closure to those who had spent years searching for answers. After years of uncertainty surrounding Tanya Glover's disappearance and the eventual discovery of her remains, authorities finally made a crucial breakthrough. On March 27, 2025, police in Townsville, Queensland, arrested a 61-year-old woman in connection with Tanya's murder. This arrest marked a significant turning point in the case, bringing long-awaited justice for Tanya and her loved ones. The suspect, whose name has not yet been publicly disclosed, was taken into custody following an extensive investigation. Law enforcement officials had meticulously gathered evidence linking her to Tanya's disappearance and the concealment of her remains. Detectives had traced her connections to the apartment complex where Tanya's body was found, ultimately leading to her arrest in Townsville. Authorities stated that they had been working diligently behind the scenes, piecing together evidence, witness testimonies, and forensic findings to build a case against the suspect. Given the complexity of the crime, both in terms of the passage of time and the efforts taken to hide the body, the arrest was a testament to the persistence of law enforcement. Following her arrest, the 61-year-old woman was formally charged with multiple offenses, including murder. Authorities believe she was directly responsible for Tanya's death.
Well, it's the case that many have referred to as the woman in the wall, capturing the nation's attention in December 2022 after a cleaner made a grim discovery. They found 38-year-old Tanya Glover's body at the back of an apartment complex in Alderley, tucked behind the concrete wall of a storage cavity, tightly wrapped and partially buried. At that point, her disappearance had gone unnoticed for more than 12 years. Her identity remained a mystery until June 2023, when DNA evidence linked her to a distant relative. Police were finally able to put a face and a name to their Jane Doe and progress their homicide investigation. It led them to Townsville, where they arrested a 61-year-old Wallaroo woman. Detectives say she was Ms. Glover's friend and lived in the same apartment complex as her.
We've had to go back in time and piece together. It's almost like starting a cold case from the start, and it's taken a mammoth amount of police work to go through records, go through information.
Police say the investigation was extensive and unlike anything they've probed before.
The death of Tanya is a tragedy, and I know my team didn't need any motivation to work forward and to get those answers for the family.
Her alleged killer has been charged with 1 count of murder, misconduct with a corpse and fraud, and will appear in the Townsville Magistrates Court tomorrow. But police say they believe there are more people out there who might have further information, but wouldn't say if they have any further suspects.
Misconduct with a corpse. The suspect is accused of concealing Tanya's body for more than a decade, preventing a proper investigation. Fraud. Reports indicate that the suspect may have financially benefited from Tanya's disappearance, potentially by continuing to access her belongings or resources after her death. These charges suggest a premeditated effort not only to commit the crime but also to cover it up, allowing the suspect to evade justice for over a decade. Investigators revealed that Tanya Glover and the suspect were acquaintances who had both lived in the same apartment complex. The two women had interacted regularly, and it is believed they may have had a personal or financial dispute that escalated into a fatal confrontation. The suspect's familiarity with the building likely enabled her to hide Tanya's remains without drawing attention. Over the years, as time passed and suspicions faded, she may have believed she had gotten away with the crime, until forensic advancements and dedicated detective work eventually exposed the truth. With the suspect now in custody and facing serious charges, the case has entered a new phase, bringing hope that justice will finally be served. For Tanya's family and those who knew her, this long-awaited development offers a measure of closure, even as painful questions about her final moments remain. For Tanya Glover's family, the arrest of a suspect after more than a decade of uncertainty brought a mix of emotions: relief, grief, and a renewed longing for justice. In public statements, Tanya's relatives expressed their heartbreak over the revelation that she had been so cruelly hidden away for years, her fate unknown. One family member described the pain of living without answers for so long, saying, "We never stopped hoping for the truth. Now that someone has been arrested, we just want justice for Tanya." Others spoke about their anger and frustration that her case took so long to reach this stage, but they remained grateful to law enforcement for not giving up on finding her killer. The arrest has reopened old wounds for those who love Tanya, but it has also given them something they had long been denied: a path toward accountability. While nothing can bring her back, they now have the chance to see her alleged murderer face the consequences. The broader community also felt the impact of both Tanya's tragic fate and the long-awaited breakthrough in the case. When her remains were discovered in 2022, there was shock and disbelief. How could a woman's body remain hidden for 12 years within an apartment complex without anyone knowing? The revelation left residents uneasy, questioning how such a horrific crime could go unnoticed for so long. As news of the recent arrest spread, the public response was a mix of relief and sorrow. Many expressed outrage that Tanya's case had remained unresolved for so long, while others praised the determination of law enforcement in finally making an arrest. Community members shared their sympathy for Tanya's family, with some attending vigils or leaving flowers near the apartment complex where she was found. Tanya's story has also reignited conversations about missing persons cases and cold case investigations, prompting discussions on how society can better support families who are searching for answers. Her case serves as a grim reminder that justice delayed is not the same as justice denied, and that even after years of silence, the truth can still emerge. As the legal process moves forward, both Tanya's family and the community remain hopeful that this arrest will bring final closure to a case that has haunted them for far too long. Following her arrest on March 27, 2025, the 61-year-old suspect is scheduled to make her first court appearance at the Townsville Magistrates Court on March 29, 2025. This hearing will serve as the initial step in the legal process, where prosecutors will formally present the charges against her. These include murder, the primary charge for Tanya Glover's death; misconduct with a corpse, for allegedly concealing Tanya's body within the apartment complex wall; fraud, related to any financial crimes potentially connected to Tanya's disappearance. During this first court appearance, the suspect will likely be remanded in custody, and discussions may arise regarding bail eligibility. Given the severity of the charges, it is expected that the prosecution will strongly oppose bail, arguing that the suspect poses a flight risk or could interfere with ongoing investigations. The road to justice in homicide cases is often complex, and Tanya's case is no exception. If the prosecution successfully builds a strong case, the suspect could face a lengthy trial in the Queensland Supreme Court, where she will be tried for murder. The following legal scenarios could unfold. Trial by jury. If the case proceeds to a full trial, the prosecution will present forensic evidence, witness statements, and investigative findings to establish the suspect's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Plea bargain. the suspect may plead guilty to lesser charges in exchange for a reduced sentence, though this remains uncertain given the seriousness of the alleged crime. Conviction and sentencing. If found guilty, the suspect could face a life sentence, as murder in Queensland carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. Acquittal. If the defense successfully argues reasonable doubt, the suspect could be acquitted, though this would likely be met with significant public scrutiny. Beyond the trial, the case may also set legal precedents regarding how long-delayed cold cases are handled in court, especially those involving concealment of remains and potential financial crimes tied to the victim's identity. As the legal process unfolds, the focus will remain on securing justice for Tanya Glover, ensuring that the suspect is held accountable for the alleged crime, and providing Tanya's family with the long-awaited closure they deserve. The case of Tanya Glover is a stark reminder of the challenges associated with cold cases, investigations that remain unsolved for years, sometimes even decades. The fact that Tanya's body was concealed for over a decade before being discovered underscores the difficulties law enforcement faces when crucial evidence is hidden, lost, or degraded over time. For Tanya's family, the years of uncertainty and unanswered questions compounded their grief. The recent arrest of a 61-year-old suspect offers them a glimmer of hope for justice, but it also raises critical questions. How many other unsolved cases are waiting for breakthroughs? How many families are still searching for closure? The resolution of cold cases requires a combination of persistent investigative work, forensic advancements, and public cooperation. Advances in DNA analysis, digital records, and improved forensic technology have led to significant progress in solving crimes that once seemed impossible to crack. However, these cases highlight the importance of never giving up on justice, no matter how much time has passed. Beyond law enforcement, the community plays a vital role in ensuring that cases like Tanya Glover's do not go unnoticed. The discovery of her remains in 2022 was only possible because of the keen observation of workers in the apartment complex. This serves as a crucial lesson. Every community member has a role in ensuring justice. When people speak up, whether through reporting suspicious activity, providing crucial witness testimonies, or supporting investigations, they contribute to a safer society. In many cases, small details provided by the public can lead to major breakthroughs in solving crimes. This case also highlights the moral responsibility of those who may have known about Tanya's fate but remained silent. Cases of murder and concealment of remains often involve multiple individuals who may have seen something suspicious over the years. Their decision to stay silent or come forward can make the difference between justice served or a crime remaining in the shadows. As this case unfolds, it serves as a sobering reminder that justice delayed does not have to mean justice denied. It reinforces the importance of vigilance, community cooperation, and continued investigative efforts in bringing long-lost truths to light. The case of Tanya Glover is a harrowing example of how long justice can take, but it also serves as a testament to persistence in uncovering the truth. For 15 years, Tanya's fate remained unknown, her loved ones left with questions and heartbreak. Now, with the arrest of a 61-year-old suspect, there is hope that the full truth will finally come to light and that justice will be served. The discovery of Tanya's remains in 2022 and the recent breakthrough in 2025 emphasize the importance of never giving up on unsolved cases. Cold cases may go years without progress, but with advancements in forensic technology, dedicated investigators, and community cooperation, justice remains a real possibility. However, Tanya's story is not just about solving a crime, it's a lesson for society. It highlights the importance of vigilance, the need for people to speak up when they suspect wrongdoing, and the crucial role of law enforcement in ensuring that no victim is forgotten. Now, more than ever, it is essential for communities to come together in the fight against crime. If you suspect something is wrong, don't stay silent, speak up. Support law enforcement efforts by staying informed and cooperating in investigations. Together, we can create a society where no case is left unsolved and no victim is left without justice. If you found this case insightful, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more true crime coverage. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this arrest after 15 years? Do you believe justice will be served? Your voice matters in raising awareness and keeping these important conversations alive. This case sparks important conversations about justice, unsolved crimes, and the resilience of families seeking closure. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Tanya Glover's case? Do you believe justice is finally being served? How do you think law enforcement can improve efforts in solving cold cases? Have there been any similar cases in your community that took years to resolve? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help keep these discussions alive. If you found this video informative and want to stay updated on more true crime stories and ongoing investigations, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into real-life mysteries. Finally, help raise awareness by sharing this video with your friends and family. The more people discuss cases like this, the more we can push for justice, accountability, and positive change in our communities. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.